Okay, good.
I'm gonna move it over there. Oh, we're perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're on. Hi everybody, how y'all doing? Can they see us? Can you see me? Can y'all see us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure. Okay,
Yes.
I am here with J.R. Wyatt and Larry Duncan. I haven't seen them in forever, so I'm excited about this. They're letting me interview them. Make sure that if you guys have questions or whatever, or statement, comments that you want to ask of them, just send in, just post it online, and I'll read it towards the end. And I'm blind, so I can't really see. Y'all know when you turn 50, everything go. My eyesight going. I wake up and my legs hurt.
It's a stage of life.
Oh gosh,
That's all
it
is.
is not funny.
And we understand because we're both older than 50, so we understand.
Y'all understand? It feels. I still try to jump up out the bed and be like, whoa.
There's
sit back
still
down.
more for you to experience.
I hope so. I hope I live as long as y'all. I'll tell this before we get started that I remember Brenda Matthews taking me to Club Desiree for the very first time. And that's when the floor was split. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I saw people flipping over backs and sliding and turning. And I said, whatever it is these people doing, I'm going to do this forever. Because they are young and I was, I think I was like late 20s then when I found that. And I can't find my paper, so I'm going to shoot from the hip. Okay, so we're going to get started. First of all, Larry Duncan, tell us, where are you from?
I'm from Lamar, Texas. That's right down the street.
Wow.
I'm between Houston and Galveston.
Okay. I didn't
Born
know
and
that.
raised, finished high school.
You went to Ball?
No. We went to, back then, it was a black high school named Lincoln High.
Oh.
And that's where I went to school. But check this out.
Uh-oh.
Me and JR is from the same town.
Really?
Me and JR have been together since we've been in elementary school.
Get out of here.
We went to the same elementary school. We're from the same town. We graduated from the same high school. We graduated from the same college.
That is crazy.
Then after we graduated from college, we both ended up moving to Houston. We've been together since we was kids.
Wow.
JR know all my family, my mom and dad. I know all JR's family. The thing about it is that I got a real brother, but JR is, we've been together so long.
People ask
us.
I can see that.
Oh, that's your brother. That's your brother.
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
So, we do like brothers do. We argue.
We do everything.
We do everything. Yeah. So,
y'all don't argue.
We just like
your brother.
Yeah.
Because
Because the thing about it, he have an opinion on stuff. Mm-hmm. I have an opinion on stuff, but in the long run, we understand each other that in spite of the differences, we have to be successful because look how long we've been together.
Definitely. So let me ask that before I start talking to you, JR. So in a business together, that's always a big deal of not getting along sometimes because you battle. How do you guys, let's just say if you have the argument because you don't just agree on something, do y'all walk away or do you handle it then? What is y'all's way of continuing to move forward if you don't agree?
Well,
we just stop. First of all, there's never really a total battle because we both got the same purpose.
Gotcha.
We've been together long enough that we know what we're trying to do. So it's not like we're trying to not accomplish what we're trying to do. We might not see everything on the detail level the same. And so at a certain point, then we'll stop. And then we'll think about it. And then when we get back together, we both gonna compromise on the best way to go.
Gotcha.
So it's,
and then
it's
you're
not
able
that big a
to,
deal.
because sometimes I can be quick to say, when I've had committees, I'm quick to say, no, that won't work. But then I go, Y'all give me 1 second. No, that's done. Okay. My daughter did it for me last time. I don't remember how to do it. If we have a little interruption, this is what's going to happen today. Sorry.
Okay.
No big deal.
Technical difficulties. Let's see, where was I? JR, so you're from Lamarck, we know that now. And you went to, what school did you say? Lincoln High School. So where did y'all go to college at?
Houston Tillotson.
That's in
Austin.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So how did y'all start dancing? Did y'all do that at the same time?
Well, dancing has been something since high school. It was just, you know, when you think about the old two-step to when we got to college, it was a form, and you know, the dance just kept getting better and adding more and meeting other people who had it in their own different styles and stuff, and you know, and so
when you migrated here to Houston, you found a group here. Were you doing it there? Did they dance in Lamar?
Yeah,
they do. Okay. Okay. I know that sounds crazy, but
yeah. Well, this Gulf Coast area.
Okay, so meaning that this dance spreads. Is that what you kind of mean? Okay. Okay. I'm still a little novice on that part of where it comes, because I know Beaumont has a swing out or something. Yeah. So did Lamarck have something different, or this was basically the same too?
What Lamarck had was basic.
Yeah, it's basic.
But what we find out when we moved to Houston and saw the people in Houston, all them Screaming Eagles and Santa Claus,
Silk,
okay. When we saw their version of the two-step,
gotcha.
We knew right then we was way behind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we had to, you know.
So did y'all take classes, or did y'all just start dancing?
Never took a class in my life.
Get out of here, really? Okay.
Cause basically when we was in high school, where we used to go, we used to go to the downbeat on the beach every Sunday. And everybody would come from Houston. Everywhere. Yeah, everybody was come, and we was dance. But like I said, it was basic. But as the dance evolved, everybody started putting they twist, they flavor on the dance, and got creative in the dance. You know.
And I understand back then, there wasn't anything called classes.
Yeah.
Right. So what happened was people either, you know, your neighbor, your friend, your buddy, your partner, you know, everybody go over somebody's house, or you just go, and then you know they learn each other something. You know, you learn, you got a girlfriend or you got a boyfriend, and y'all be in there, y'all practicing and learning, so that when y'all go out, y'all get better. So you know, in between all the people in the community,
it just
there never was.
Well, while we saying this, I gotta ask this, because it's something that's been going on that I've watched on social media. What do y'all think about? So y'all were just saying that y'all saw when y'all came to Houston that people were adding their own flair and their own flavor. Right. So there's this big deal, this I'll call it a controversy of some sort, of people adding stuff to the dance. Like, okay, two-step, you can pretty much do anything in Houston two-step.
Right. Okay,
and then swing out. You ask them, but then there's people saying they were fusing the dance. So how do y'all feel like that's okay to add your own stuff to it? Isn't it okay to
I'm like Ronnie Laws. Every generation comes alive, and you know, and sometimes it's almost like music. You're gonna take what's there, and if you're creative enough, you're gonna add certain things to it. If you can make it better, you know, sometimes.
And more fun for you.
Well, it's more fun for everyone involved. So I would always hope that from just saying where black people were back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, you know, it's almost like clothing and suits and things. Some of it looks the same, then they add a little something to it. The next person takes it. And then sometimes they go back, and it's what they call it a retro look. So you got a retro look.
Okay.
Well, that's fine.
Well, I'm glad. I just want to say this: Houston is the strongest city in almost the world. I know when I go out of town, and I can't be gone from this city no more than 2-3 days. I want to come back home. But we got everything.
Yes.
But what we don't have. This is what I don't like. We don't have unity in the dance community. Yeah. This dance is about enjoyment. Exercise, to have a good time. It's not about hating on people, talking about people. I encourage people to dance.
Yeah.
If a person just say that they can't dance, I have an idea to well on their level, I'm gonna dance in their level. You understand? I'm not gonna ever refuse anybody that think enough to me to ask me to dance. But it's so much jealousy, and then we should embrace whatever dance you do. I don't care. Yeah. I like all of it. I like the Chicago stepping. I like the Zydeco. I like the Swingout. I like the Houston two-step. That's my favorite because that's what I do.
Of course, right.
But I love all
the
dances you do. And the only thing we need to do, we need to encourage, because I think that that's where we fall short. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
And that's something that I'm talking about. Me myself, I don't have to work on it, because if anybody know me, they know that I embrace all dances. I support all dances. So,
and I think that for me is probably because when I was doing So You Want to Dance the first time, that was something I would always say. Okay, dance with somebody you haven't danced with. Or I would put that on my little blast, or I wanted everybody to be together. Because going back to that day I went to Desiree and they had the split floor, I swear when I got there it was like two steppers up, but that's when Dallas Swing first came out. Two steppers on this side of the floor and Swing Out people was on this side of the floor.
Right.
You know, and I don't know if it was that vivid, but that's kind of that was a vision I saw. So that's why at So You Want to Dance, I wanted to fuse everybody together so everybody could do whatever dance. Now my favorite is, of course, Zydeco and then Swing Out, and then I do love two-step. And I love them for all different, I see two-step as and I'm probably not right about this, but I think it's a sensual, sexy dance is what I see it as. What I like. Swing Out I see as fun, just kind of like Zydeco for me. You know what I mean?
Two-step is truly a partner dance. But you made me think about something. I remember with Jared and we used to come out there to that white party you guys. What was the name of that
Divas, Club Divas.
Yeah. We used to have a good time.
I miss that. And and that's the thing, how things have changed, in my opinion, from what I've seen and observed, which is why I backed up a little bit, but I'm coming back. But that changed. How we just go out and just have
a good time.
Fun. And at the end of the night, it was like our feet hurt. We just going home, and we know we're gonna see each other tomorrow at the Red Rooster. Because back then it was Red Rooster on Sunday.
Right,
you know.
Right.
And that's what I wish. I'm hoping that we will eventually get back to. It won't be so competitive. If
Well,
you will.
What happened when we first started? Like you said, you asked a question about classes. It used to be, and Larry and a lot of other people already knew. It used to be just here in the city, talking about in Houston. 7 days a week, everybody who danced or who either two-step, swing out, we knew where everybody was going to be. So,
That's
whether
true.
it was Lil James Reminisce or Silk or, the original Red Rooster or what, everybody just knew Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, this is where we're going. This is where we're dancing. And so I truly believe, and this was just always my opinion, the first big mistake that happened in the dance community, especially black people, always was about trying to come together anyway because other communities forced it to. But the first big mistake was, because people have egos, is we started having competition. Competition don't do nothing but drive egos and drive people apart. And then
when you say competition, do you mean an actual dance competition?
Actual dance competition doesn't bring people together. Doesn't allow, because all of a sudden you get some people who, I want to dance because if I go out with somebody, I want to learn how to dance. But all of a sudden when they start thinking they're inferior to somebody else, then they stop not wanting to participate. They're going to move where they think they feel a little bit more at ease, or somebody's not threatening them.
Or judging.
Or judging. Judging them on the floor. When we originally used to dance, people would like everybody different styles, but they still didn't judge. They still came on and danced with everybody and got better at what they do.
And when you say competition, for me, I won't mention the club, but there was an event that used to happen once a week, and I gotta just say it because I'm old now. It was a younger group of people that came out, and that's when I felt that the competition, not the competition event, but competition on the dance floor started. Instead of us all just dancing and we just having fun, we may look at Larry and say, look at this people or whatever, and we all compliment each other. At this particular place, they would play a certain song, and these certain dancers would get up and do something to where you feel like you need to get off the floor. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the kind of competition that I don't like. When we're at a social dance spot, because if you go to a competition, that's your choice to go compete. But at a social dance spot, Why are we competing with each other? And that's what makes people say, you know what, I'm going to back off of this.
But since you said that, let me just give me a chance to say something. When you say social dance spot, let me tell you what I think going on right now. We have a wonderful thing going on in Houston. I think the best social dance spot, and I want to take my hat off to these fellas. I want to take my hat off to Ken Shaw, Jay Owens, and Henry Harvey. I think the best social dance spot that we have going on in the city, and everybody know, is Second Saturday up the stairs at the El Dorado Ballroom. Those gentlemen is doing a good job. Y'all continue.
Yes.
When me and Jared get a chance, we pop in because we be doing our own things on Saturdays, but we want to know we do recognize. Because I done drove around there when we come, and it ain't nowhere to park.
Yes,
and,
yes.
You know,
and it's been going on for a while now.
Yeah, and that's the continued thing, you know. Yeah, it's last. You know, just like the black and white ball. This is our 14th. This is our 14th year of doing that, but they have been there some years now,
definitely.
and y'all have made that thing work. And congratulations.
And that's another thing that we need to do more of too. Is saying that, being able to say that, and not feeling like we're taking something from ourselves by saying "good job," you know, TSI, good job. We gotta help each other out and say "good job" and not be afraid.
The city. My number one thing, and always a thought process is. We're in the 4th largest city in the United States. It is never not big enough that there should be even more places like the El Dorado Ballroom and Second Saturday, more places that people can just come out and dance and not feel threatened. And enjoy themselves on whatever they like,
and then whatever level of dance that they're on. That is my biggest thing. Because I have danced in the past. You know, I'm not like I was back then because I don't dance as often. I wish I could still do. That's probably why I gained this weight because I ain't dancing 7 days a week no more. But
you're not little Trina no more.
Yeah, I ain't little Trina no more. Katrina July calls me medium Trina because she says she's big Trina, I'm medium Trina. But so I tell people that I said that's what happened. I exploded when I stopped dancing. But I agree with that we should be able to do all the different dances and embracing each other. And that's the only thing I wish, and maybe that's naive of me, just wish that we could do that and not hate, as you mentioned earlier, hate and I don't know. When you can, like y'all say, y'all go to Second Saturday when you can, you know, and that's all of us are busy. My problem, I shouldn't say problem. Only thing I do wish is that we had one free Friday or Saturday. You know, we have first Saturday, second Saturday, third Saturday, fourth Saturday, fifth Saturday. If there was a sixth Saturday, somebody would have that.
But you said what you saying? A Friday,
like a Saturday. So if I want to have a birthday party, like right now I'm having something on November the 1st. I gotta count out that some people that are dancers may not come because they're so used to going to first Saturday. So that's they're dedicated to first Saturday. So if there was a free Saturday that nobody, does that make sense a little bit what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it does.
You know, because you can't have it unless you have it at that particular event.
Would it have to be a free Saturday? It couldn't be a free Friday?
I mean, no, it could be a free any day.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, they all taken up. If it's a free Friday, somebody gonna get it and make it a first, second, third. That makes what I'm saying. And I know that that's asking for a lot.
Well,
it's always stuff you can have.
It's not asking a lot. I think that anybody that does that and able to do that, this is their way of giving something back.
Not free. When I say free, not money free, not monetary. I mean in having a Saturday there where we don't have a event, like a steady event. Let's just say black and white ball. Is that a week of somebody's event? Do normally have something?
No.
Okay, Iris is an event. Matter of fact, y'all remember Iris, Walter, and Jerron, Art of Chemistry? They're having an event tonight. So make sure. Tickets are sold out right now.
I got tickets.
He got well he has tickets, but otherwise
No.
You have your tickets to go. He has his tickets to go, but just remember that the tickets are sold out. But you can go after 10 for no dinner for $10. Just FYI. Yes. What was I saying? I'm sorry.
You were saying that.
So like tonight, ours gonna have an event, but there's normally
You're talking about a social calendar. You're talking about a social calendar.
So leaving one day to where it's not a event going. So when black and white ball comes, which people are gonna come, of course, but I'm just saying as an example, they don't have to say, "Oh gosh, that's usually first Saturday, so I can't go to that."
Well, the only thing about, and I think, as you continue and other people continue to try to make sure that the community knows what's happening in the entire city, that, you know, those things are going to occur. I always remember that, at least on my thought process, the city is so big. So whenever there's a situation where there's not enough people, or you think the event should have been bigger, so I don't weigh that on somebody else having an event somewhere. It either is going to come back to information being put out there, and the event being created in such a way that people feel comfortable that that's where they want to go. And I say that because look how many clubs there are in the entire city. Sometimes, some nights, Red Rooster is going to be packed. Sometimes, some night, people are going to be at 4212, you know, on a certain night. It's just so where they feel comfortable. Yeah, you just have to create it.
So your vision is good, but the problem with that is that don't nobody know who's going to give anything. And what happens when persons make a decision on that date, and I'm talking about this happens on everybody's thing, is that it's more than just that going on.
Correct.
So now we're all pulling out of the same pool. But people is loyal to different things. So what happens is that so then when you get your date, you set your date, you send your information out. This when you find out after the fact that it's three more other events going on. And that's the problem. I don't know.
There's not really a way to fix that.
I don't have a solution for that.
There is a solution. There's a way to fix it. And Larry and I talked about this some 20 years ago. No matter what, the city is so big that if everybody who's involved in dance community really reached out and figured out how do we enhance or build the pool. In other words, in our community, if everybody was coming out dancing, just like, think about it, as many clubs in Houston, Texas, that people go out to, how many of those people going out to those clubs that know how to do a dance? Like they go out, they drink, but they're always interested. So that just means that if no matter how big we could build the dance community, that means more people going out to more dance events.
That is true.
So the solution is
looking at it like that.
And I think, like Larry said, hats off to people like Jay Owens and Ken Sharp and other people who realize that, you know, people want to learn.
Right.
And it's not about trying to move them into getting to a certain level, but just move them into a level where they're comfortable going out asking somebody to dance.
Right, exactly. And that's hard enough.
That's hard enough.
That's hard enough.
You know, and it's always like getting more men to learn how to dance than there are ladies, and staying at a certain level that the ladies don't feel fearful about dancing with men, thinking that it's all about them trying to hit on them or talk to them. It's just about enjoying the dance.
And check this out. If you've been around a minute, Trina, so you know what I'm finna say is true. It's the dance, no matter which dance you do, is unstoppable. Because let me show you what is happening. The dance community is growing.
Yes.
It's steady growing. It's not decreasing.
No.
You steady seeing people, you understand, that didn't used to come out.
That's true.
They come out now. Another thing I like is that, and I know we see a lot of it here at the studio, we have grown folks. I mean, people that's like, you know, in their 40s on back coming out and learning how to dance. Let me tell you something else we done seen. Me and Jared have seen this with our own eyes. I know that we done seen some people in that age group that have actually found their partners.
Yes.
You understand, in the circle. And they got married and all this happened. You see what I'm saying? She's so
That's hope for me. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, so you're in the right circle.
I say that. Yeah, but that's good. I do like that. My mama thinks she's the matchmaker. She always matchmakes somebody. But yes, that is true.
Yeah.
That I've seen that happen. That's cool because you always want somebody that can dance with you.
That's exactly.
So since we're going there, before we get to talking about the black white ball, since we went there, I'm gonna bring up something I brought. I had a ladies panel, and we talked about different things that ladies think and how they feel about asking people to dance. So there are some couples who, if they go out now, back then, from what I knew from my being raised in the dance community, you could ask anybody to dance because you're supposed to be able to dance with anybody, right? When you go out to a social event, the floor is open. So now what we found, several of us have found, is that when you go ask so and so to dance, their partner, their lady will say something like, "Well, no, he's not dancing tonight." What do you think about that? Like, did y'all ever have that back then? That wasn't a.
I'm gonna speak from a personal perspective. I'm in a relationship. I dance and she dance. We clear that she can dance with whoever she wants, and I'm gonna dance with whoever I want.
Right.
And there's no confusion. It don't never get discussed.
Right.
It don't never be no problem. And I've been doing this for a minute.
Yeah.
You understand? So it works. Because I don't understand, why would you come out, you understand, and the purpose of, you're going to a dance where everybody dance. You already know. So why is it a problem? So that's the individual thing. But for me,
it's happening a lot more lately.
For me, it's not a problem. Yeah. And sometimes I may not even get dance with my partner that I bring out, and it's okay.
Yeah.
You understand? Because I know a lot of people like to dance with her. Yeah. She understands a lot of people like to dance with me. But it shouldn't be like that, and it puts a dark cloud.
When you want to go dance, you don't want to go dance. It's like,
because you already know, but you already know what you're up against. And it shouldn't be, and that's something that needs to be worked out.
I think you're now getting into what they call
social etiquette.
No, it's not really that. You're getting into more of a psychological, social. You got to understand that, first of all, people are people. Sometimes the what I call the little jealousies or the issues they've had in the past. So it's almost like, if two people are dating, the whatever baggage they had before with someone always eventually becomes apparent. And as Larry was saying, somewhere, if there's not a communication, that if you're going out with someone and you're going into a place to enjoy the dance or the facility, then it should already be understood.
Right.
Understood that this is the way we're going to communicate as long as we're leaving together. Now, don't get me wrong. I can truly understand that if a guy came out with his wife or he came out with his fiance and they came out just for both of them to come out on a date, and somebody comes over and asks, and in both ways, a lady comes over and asks the guy to dance, or a man comes over and asks the lady to dance without respecting the person that's sitting there with them, then it might seem wrong for them that they said they don't want to dance. But it's not wrong because that's who they came in with.
And they trying to be respectful.
And they trying to be respectful. So that means you need to be respectful and asking the other partner, do you mind if I dance with this lady? And in most cases, then the guy would not be back off. But if you disrespect one of them, then quite naturally you're going to create an environment that they're going to have a problem when they leave. They're going to have a problem when they leave.
That's true.
So,
well, I would just say that when I took classes, that they always kind of taught us about, I'm never going to use the word saying at the beach anymore. I got in trouble on Facebook for saying that one day. But when you go out, just what you're saying, have an understanding that this is a dance event we're going to, so we both gonna probably dance. It's okay.
We want to dance. That's what you came out to.
We come together and we gonna leave together.
And I don't want to dance with you all the time. I'm just joking.
Right.
I'm gonna change up. It's good.
Well, you'll
and
get
you grow,
better. You get better when you dance with somebody else.
Yes. Okay, so let's get to, first I want to ask you TSI. Now, back when I was going to the Black and White Ball, when I first came to the community, it was LJET. So is this TSI Black and White Ball? Is this just Black and White Instructor Scholarship Ball? How does that work?
Well, it didn't change. It's the same. Here's what happened. Initially, it was Eugene Wyatt, Tyrone Evans, JR, and me. We got together and decided we wanted to give an event.
Okay.
You understand? Just straight out of the box. So the name that we came up with was LJET because it was Larry was the L, the J was JR, the E was Eugene, and the T was Tyrone. You know, it was our initials. Okay. So then we did that, and we was at the Hilton, Harvey Hilton. Never forget. We didn't know.
Yeah.
So we threw the event, and we had so many people that we was just amazed. You know, I guess I don't know if it was because it was just the idea that it was the farm. I don't know what was the catch, and from there, so we did that as LJET for a few years, and then Eugene moved to Baton Rouge, and Tyrone was doing his own thing. He had his own private business. Everybody started doing his own thing. But see, I'm the only problem. I'm stuck with JR. I've been stuck. So it's just, it was just me and JR. I'm stuck. So I can't, you know, so we just continue.
Okay.
Just me and him, we continue. The concept stayed the same.
So when you say concept, let me ask you this. I don't mean to cut you off, but the concept, when you first did it, was it a scholarship ball then?
Well, what occurred was when we first came together, and Larry, must give Larry a lot of credit, because at that time I didn't know Eugene, I didn't know Tyrone, but Larry knew him, and when he came to me about it, he was talking about how, you know, the dance community, for the way the dance community was growing, there should be an event once a year where everybody can come together and enjoy it in on a different level.
Yes.
In other words, a more of a formal and a big deal, and the concept seemed tremendous to me. And so when we started thinking about it, the four of us, we started thinking about that, okay, we want to do this, but what is going to be the purpose for just having the event, and even though it is on a bigger level. And so the first thought came to mind was that, you know, we want to grow the dance community and we want to be involved, but we also want to make sure the dance community gives back to those who are coming up behind us. And then between the four of us, we came up with the idea of looking at kids who might not be top of their class, because none of us, between the four of us, we, you know, be honest, I'm going to talk about me. We didn't graduate. I have nothing to say about them. That's it. But I didn't graduate magna cum laude, and I didn't graduate summa or anything. But if it wasn't that at that time for HBCs, that you could, you know, you could get a student loan, and my mama and father, they didn't have that kind of money. I just decided I was going to school, and I took out loans and got a little bit of grants and scholarships. So we wanted to make it a way that some other kids who probably was in the same situation could have what we call the first step into college. And to us, that added to the community having something to say that, hey, once a year, we give back.
Yes.
We give back by helping some, and on all the schools we came up with at first was black high schools.
Okay, I'm going to ask you about that too. So on that note, I want everybody to understand that, because that's something we don't focus on enough as far as this event is concerned, that this is our opportunity to give back at least once a year. Because, you know, I think the focus, I think I'm gonna be honest, I think the focus have gotten off of that. Because I just told JR earlier, when I heard the whistle was there, I got my ticket immediately. But I even lost the thought about the real reason, the purpose.
Well, in our community, sometimes we forget the part of how, you know, and don't get me wrong, as an African American in America, it is extremely difficult day to day just to stay focused on making things out. But at the end of the day, we still got those people who are trying to come behind us. And we want our society to be at a certain point. So the only way to do that is that we have to turn around and try to create scenarios. Let me give Iris and Walter really a lot of credit, because they have taken young folks and worked with young kids, because they know that in the future, those are the future people who are going to take this dance
to the next level.
If it's not only the next level, but create another society within our community that continues to dance.
Definitely.
So anything we can do to continue keeping a focus on our children should always be something that we don't take lightly.
Yeah, and we definitely give it up to Walter and Priscilla of what is it? Northside Swing.
Yes.
She did a great job at one time. But, she's doing her own balloon diva thing, so she's not able to do it. But she did a very good job with the kids also. So I know we're gonna see some video of those kids tonight. So I'm excited about what Walter and Jerron. Jerron is also a part of that. That's somebody checks in. Let me see if anybody have any questions that I may have missed. You cannot make it to all the events. Hi, Rock. They just asked about you. Hey, Jay. Okay. Y'all say hi to Rock. Since y'all asked, they asked about you earlier, Rock.
Rock. My main man.
So, hey, Jay. Thank you for tuning in today. Next thing, you said something. I said I was gonna get onto that. Kids. Okay, I'll come back to it. So now leading up to.
So let me just add something real quick. What we've tried to do in the black and white ball, a lot of times people miss out on some of it. So every year, besides choosing a school and choosing kids that need this initial first step, and what I've been extremely proud about is that Larry normally goes out and finds the school and works with the counselor and the principal, and we basically identify the kids. And what we've been proud about, a lot of cases, these are kids who are single parent homes. Sometimes the kids are being raised by the grandparents, but they have a vision. And we know how hard it is when you got a vision and you don't have a ways and means to look at it. And so we try to come back and see how we can help them do that. But there's a marrying process where we always have a guest speaker.
Yes.
And what for us in the thought process, the four of us sit there and talk about it is, we want to bring in somebody that the community probably doesn't have an arm or a hand to all the time. So we've had a guy who was in state board of educators who was in the system, over the system, all over the state of Texas. We've had the president of TSU and U of H come in and talk a little bit, told us about a program where black kids can now become aviators if they want to be a pilot or get things that we can do. We've had people who've come in and talk. So a lot of times in the ball, people won't listen totally to the guest speaker because they talking about they want to get on the dance floor or they talking to other people. But these are people who influence our community.
Definitely.
And to be able to go back and pull those people in to say, hey, look, we're a viable community. We affect whether you get elected. We affect whether you continue to get paid, or maybe you affect what we have happening to our kids.
Right.
And so the ball is a multi-purpose event. It allows you to get 3 or 4 things to occur in one event, in one setting.
And let me piggyback that for a minute. Like you say, you said yourself, some people lose focus that this is a fundraiser and we doing this to help give money back to a high school. But anyway, I want to say that the high school that we picked this year is North Shore. And they is really on board because the principal excited. He even came over here to the studio.
Oh wow! Okay.
You understand? To meet with us and to let us know that the alumni for North Shore, they're going to do their part this year. And so,
North Shore have a good alumni, and there a lot of them used to go to church with me. Medrick, you know Medrick.
Yeah, And that's Dr. Coleman. I'm gonna throw you
Oh,
name
Throw his name out there.
Yeah, I'm put you out there, Dr. Coleman.
And he is our frat brother.
Well, I didn't want to
Oh.
say
Y'all
it.
didn't know. Yeah, we all fraternity. Larry and I, now
I
in
forgot
college,
to say.
we're fraternity brothers. So
Yeah.
if you say brothers, yeah, we are brothers.
Yeah.
Yes, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
I forgot.
Fun fact.
Yeah, we both Kappa Alpha Psi. We noobs. So,
Yeah.
so noobs in
I
time.
didn't know
You want
that.
to take
Oh,
advantage?
I learned so much
Yeah,
today. But y'all know that's another reason why I wanted to do this, because what people don't know about me is I'm a history buff. Like,
Okay.
I like government stuff too, but
I am
history,
too.
I
I
love
am too.
biographies,
Yeah.
autobiographies. Like, that is my thing.
That's
So
my
when
minor.
I like to know where people's thought processes are coming from. You know, I always tell my mom, I just want to get in their brain, and she was like, you don't want to get in everybody's brain. But that's something that I'm really enjoying about this, because I'm learning so much. Yeah, she said, you don't want to be in everybody's brain. But this is what I like about this, because I've known y'all for how long, and I had no idea some of those things.
Years.
But so going back to the ball, I'm glad that we brought up being focused on that. So I'm gonna do my part of emphasizing that, and I'm gonna do my part of remembering that too, because in a way I feel a little selfish. But I'm gonna tell y'all, I was mad at y'all a few years ago. Can I tell y'all why?
Yeah.
Because my child was graduating from high school, and I was like, I'm in a dance community. I'm so you want to dance. My baby don't get no scholarship and no computer.
So what school did you go
Well,
to?
I found that out later, so I'm going to want y'all to
Okay.
explain that.
Okay.
How do you choose a school? Now, my daughters didn't go to her school was, it was Carver High School in Aldine.
Okay.
But at that time, you guys were doing, and I didn't know the purpose. I don't think anybody
a lot
did.
of black schools.
Right,
Yeah.
and so can you speak on that? How do you choose the schools? Are they mainly for urban African American schools? Do you rotate to different areas, or is that the focus is being in a?
Well, let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
When we first started, and you know, and that's not to say there's a lot of flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
When we first started, we wanted to go first to the traditional black high schools that a lot of the community finished from.
Gotcha.
The Jack Yates, Phyllis Wheatley, Worthing, Sterling.
My mama graduated from Wheatley.
You know,
Madison.
Cashmere.
Cashmere. So we wanted to make sure that we covered those schools.
Gotcha.
because
Sheridan,
and,
Jones, all that.
one of the thought processes is that we know, just from just our experience, that there are kids in those schools that if someone give them at least reach out and show we're willing to help, they won't be the same smart kids out here doing something else because they're not dumb.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So past that point, I don't know if we, you know, really last year, Larry came up with the school that, or I hadn't heard that school, and that's because he met the counselor and the principal for it and said, let's support this school. And this year, we both was talking, and automatically, Larry said something, a friend of ours, Oscar, who's also a part.
Oscar Regard?
No.
Oh, not that Oscar.
Oscar James.
Oh, Oscar James. I don't know him. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
Dr. Oscar James.
Okay,
So
cool.
anyway, Oscar kind of mentioned on the Channel View out that area, and we thought of North Shore. And so Larry spoke with them. The counselor and the principal at the schools, they choose the kids
Good,
or
okay.
give the kids an opportunity. And then there's a process. We do have a criteria.
Okay.
And so the kids have to go through, you know, essay process. We have to know your vision. We got to know where you intend to go. You really don't. You have to get an acceptance letter from the college that you're going to, and we have as an option. We hope they want to go to an HBC. You know that, and we've been fortunate through all of these years. All of our kids were going to an HBC. So it's not like. You know, that had came up before what you mentioned about choosing kids in the dance community. That would have created havoc
Definitely.
between everybody we know. Why my grandson or my nephew, or how do I do this? And if you don't get chosen, then what? You got some harsh feelings.
Exactly, harsh feelings.
So we.
So
just
you know I'm being a little
wanted to-
facetious about my kid, but
Yeah,
you know, I was like, well, why my baby ain't getting no, but I knew there was a process, and so I wanted to bring that point so you could say that to our viewers. So there's a process, y'all. Let's see what else. What are y'all hoping for this? It's gonna be at where is it? Bio City. Yeah, I think I came to y'all's first one there. I think.
Okay.
What am I saying? What are y'all hoping for this time? Like, do y'all have a goal? Or I guess the same thing. Normally, you want to have a certain amount of attendees. Let me see what I'm trying to ask you. What is your hope for this particular that would be different from the other events that y'all have had, the other black and white ball? Is there anything different that you're expecting?
Well,
this one is bigger.
yeah, and the awareness. We're hoping that more of the community, I guess partially because of just having the whispers, more of the name, but the more you can get the community involved into what you're doing, it benefits the whole dance community, because we're 2 dance floors, people are gonna be dancing all styles. People who come just for to the event, they will get a chance to see everyone dancing, and hopefully they'll want to join.
Yeah,
they'll want to participate.
And not only that, this ball we went all out. So since we're talking about the ball, let me say about the meet and greet. Okay. We're going to have a live concert at the meet and greet. Oh. We're going to have Carmichael.
Okay.
That's going to
be the meet and greet is going to be here. It's
going to be here at the studio. That's Friday night. And I just let me throw this out there since we're talking about it. We know we got a lot going on that weekend, so we made the price something you can stand, $15 to get in. So we're gonna start with that concert. We're gonna finish with the big concert. We're gonna finish with the big concert at the ball with the Whispers, and we're just gonna have a good time.
Yep.
And
party for a purpose.
We
got an after party.
Yeah, and we got an after party.
Yes.
That's gonna start after the black and white ball, and let's give my DJ that night gonna be J. Cole out of Fort Worth. He gonna DJ that. Okay. The Saturday night the DJ is going to be Tim at the black and white ball, and Friday night the DJ for the Carmichael concert and the meet and greet is going to be Stevie Ray.
Oh yeah, that's my new friend.
Yeah.
He did some videos for my cruise for me. I copied off of y'all.
So we got everything in place.
Yes.
People coming in from out of town. We got the Host Hotel. This is Spring Hill Suites.
Can y'all make sure y'all get the information
it's
to
the
me?
information. Okay,
is it somewhere?
It's somewhere. I get it. Okay. I'll get it to you, and then you can help send it out.
Yes, of course.
And so the Host Hotel is gonna be a $89 rate. You get a breakfast with that.
Oh God.
And in me and Gerald's vision, we picked the Spring Hill Suites because it's like 8 minutes from the studio, and it's like 10 minutes to the Bayou Event Center. So once
y'all had no excuse for going to both.
Yeah. So once you make it to Spring Hill Suites, no matter what city you coming from, or whatever, Austin. I know a lot of Austin people come because they done bought 2 tables. But anyway, so it's just everything's in place. So
and you can always Uber and Lyft because those very close. So we can Uber and Lyft.
Yeah.
We'll get in your hotel and just Uber back and forth. You'll be good. That sounds like a good weekend, a 2-day. That's all we need.
And let me say this: a lot of times the ball it bees on the Thanksgiving weekend. That's not happening this time. We miss a lot of people because people already have plans for the Thanksgiving weekend. That. But this year, this ball is the week before Thanksgiving, which means you can do the ball.
There's no excuse.
And you can still do whatever you got planned for Thanksgiving. It won't interfere with y'all plans. So
and what's funny about that is when Teddy said that we were going and I got my ticket, I never asked the date. So I'm just assuming it was Thanksgiving.
And a lot of people,
I would have been there the wrong week. I'd have missed it.
But for 13 years, that's what it's always been.
I didn't even ask about the date.
Yeah,
okay.
so that's why
I'm glad you're saying that.
And I'm saying that because a lot of people assume it. So I'm getting some clarity. Well, I got a chance to get
the black and white ball is the week before Thanksgiving. See there?
Right.
So you can still go get your turkey dinner out of town.
You can do them both.
Yeah, there you go.
Let me also bring to say that we really appreciate that all the support we've had out of Houston. I mean, for the past 14 years, we've had people who come from, Dallas, last year, Oklahoma City, Austin, San Antonio, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, Beaumont, Killeen. So
Oklahoma.
And people come because they know at a certain point that the dance community here, that this is a class event. I'm always emphasizing, especially at TSI, that this is a formal affair. And, you know, we ask people, you know, don't come in a pink, don't come in a pink, green, blue suit, tie. Come show that we can have the same type of level that other people have at some of their events to first represent our community in a different way.
About the dress code, I know it's red carnation.
It's a red carnation
affair.
But okay, so you know, formals black, white. But can we wear? Women can wear. Are we encouraged to wear red?
Women can wear whatever they like to. But we're encouraging you to wear a formal a dress because it is a black tie affair. So we want gowns and we want things of that nature that we don't normally wear. We're encouraging guys to wear tux. You know, you can get tux as low as $99. You can contact me and tell you a bunch of places. But it allows us to be.
It's just a thing.
It's just a thing.
Okay, now let me. So y'all just think, because I was thinking I had to go find a red. Well, I'm gonna find me a red one anyway. But I'm just saying. I just want to make sure people were clear on that. You don't have to wear a red bow tie. You can. Okay. Let's see what else. Oh, okay. So I have feedback.
Let me stop you a minute. One more other thing is that Jared said people come from out of town, but the strongest support we get is from Houston, Texas. So y'all give yourselves a hand and y'all really supporting this ball this year.
And this is probably the one event that I know, like I said, from the time I came in that this event was going on, that people do come from Houston. But I also like it because you do get to meet those other people that's coming from out of town. So some of the newbies, and what I said at the interview I had with Tina, I'm gonna give a plea to the instructors. You guys are teaching people every week, and they're paying $10 to learn this dance. Encourage your students to come to this event. This is something nice. They'll get to see different people. They'll get to dance with different people, and it's just nice, a holiday event for them to come to. So sometimes, like I mentioned, as far as the competition, it's gonna take you as instructors to encourage or just mention it in your class that even if you're not going, give your students the opportunity to attend.
Well, it is called the Black and White Instructors Ball. And so one of the concepts when we came together as LJAT was really to have something that the instructors could all come together once a year and be a part of or be proud of that. It's an event that, hey, we can come out and our students can demonstrate what they've learned all year and know that they were a part of giving back to the next generation coming in.
And it also gives a purpose to
it
all of this. And it brings it to, so, okay, here
and
goes.
And awareness to our community.
Yes, and helping those babies get that first step, planting that seed for them. Okay, so to a little bit of negative. It ain't supposed to be, it's not on my part, I'm just giving them. Okay, so as far as the food is concerned, how do we choose the menu?
The menus, well, first of all, we generally don't choose the menu. So, I mean, this is what generally happens. And hopefully this year, the reason we went back to the Bayou City is that they've always had pretty well a very good menu. Last year, we tried to choose an independent caterer who was part of our community and
black owned,
and it kind of fell a little short. I think the numbers were too big for it.
He fell a lot short.
Yeah, he fell. But
you guys still trying to help support the black community.
But let me say this. Let me say some stuff that y'all don't know. He may fell a little short, but me and Jared spent $10,400 for that catering. Wow,
so food is definitely not.
Yeah, so
y'all think about that too.
No, it has nothing to do with price or anything. And so we've never, in period, came back and said this is what the menu is. We've come back and we've looked at, okay, we're gonna have X amount of people here. We want it to be as fabulous as possible. Larry will tell you we have never tried to cut a corner on what we want the event to be as far as the level of the event to be. Okay. And so then we depend upon other people, either the people that we're renting the event space from, the facility from, or someone who says, hey, I can do this at this level. Now, what the guy was intending to do last year sounded fabulous because he was going to add another flavor to it, but he wasn't able to pull it off.
So someone mentioned, someone mentioned because I wasn't there last year or the year before last. Did y'all have barbecue or
The
spaghetti?
year before last.
Okay, so that was one of the things that we're going to a formal event. So the menu, if I'm in my gown, I don't want to eat barbecue and I don't want to eat spaghetti.
Okay.
So I'm
never
just bring
had
that up.
spaghetti.
Okay, I don't know. I'm just.
Well, let me say this.
Okay.
Let me say this. So the ball is at the Bayou City Event Center.
Mm-hmm.
So we put it all in one package. The Bayou Event Center, they have.
They'll decide.
They're going to do the food too.
Okay.
So everything is in one house,
Gotcha.
in one place,
Okay.
and
Okay.
we're pretty sure.
And since they're doing it, the catering, the food they'll have the food temperature, all that kind of
it's
stuff.
gonna correct
So
it.
that, and I'm just bringing y'all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's
okay.
okay.
So
Let me just kind of mention one thing
Okay.
on that because we've been totally getting into food and stuff too. So a lot of times people don't understand how food is determined. Period. Anywhere.
that's true.
And so if you were to go to the Hilton or the Hyatt or whatever, when you start looking at food becomes what they call a plate price per the amount of people coming in. Now, so a couple of things has to occur. One is based on the price of ticket. That means your food is a certain price to that ticket versus what your purpose for the event is. So if all of a sudden, I'll just put it like this, if there's someone out there who would love to have, let's just say catfish, lobster, steak or some of that, that's probably a ticket per plate price that's gonna run around $40, $45. And so if we add everything else to it, would that person really be willing to pay $150 to that ticket?
That is true.
For a ticket?
They'll be screaming at y'all in.
Right, so what we try to do is basically look at, we're trying to give these children a couple of things that we always do. We give them some money and a laptop. We've also got to turn around and make sure that we pay the type of the venue and the type of artist,
The
entertainment that you would love to see. So when you start talking about food, we can only guarantee or try to work on keeping the quality level of the food to where the food was good.
Gotcha.
As far as just saying the food, if it gets too expensive, we know you're not going to buy a ticket for something.
Right.
So food is not one of the priorities.
Right, that's not a priority. That makes sense. Okay, what about the line? The food line. So do you guys organize the food line? Like, how does that?
We try to look at, for the amount of people coming in, and which this year, they will try to that's why we have buffets.
Okay.
And the buffets, we try to split it up so that as big as the venue is, we can kind of feed people as quick as possible, and they can get through
So
the
we're
buffet
going to
line.
have two.
That's I think that was the okay. That was
Right.
okay.
We're gonna have
There'll be 2 lines this year, y'all. And guys, also remember that when you're going through the buffet line, remember that there's people behind you. The other people got to eat, so you got to move on through the line.
Yeah, that would help a whole
That
lot.
would help a lot. So move through the line. Get your food and let's move in, because you know that because that's a big part of it too. I think people sometimes go through looking and all that kind of stuff. Get your silverware down there and move them down the line. I think on that note, that's it for that. I'm excited. I'm excited, period, about coming back and trying to get myself back into the dance community again. I'm pretty excited. I missed it. So let me ask a kind of a question for me. So y'all know that I was in it for a long time, but as businessmen and also dance community people, how do you stay sane with all the stuff that goes on? What is your advice to me to try to step back in, not lose my mind again, and be okay with, I know everybody's not going to like you. I had to figure that out because that's hard, but how do you stay sane? How do you keep going, and not give up and say, you know what, there we go again. I'm done.
Let me plug in something. I know Larry's gonna have something to say. So let me just plug in something. When we first got into the studio, and the studio is kind of an offshoot of creating dance classes as TSI. There has to be in your mind a purpose of what you're attempting to do. And one of the things that you have to always realize in your purpose is that you can't let the whole thing about worrying about what's all going to happen, because your purpose has to be clear about where you're trying to go. For our purpose, it was about getting more people involved into learning how to dance.
Okay.
And the purpose was about, it's not all the time about the many, it's about the few that needs to have a ways and means to get to where they want to be in the community. So we've been here, and I thank Larry for just a lot of inside vision to help me to understand that there's other things you can do to add to it, to keep it going. So we try to be here so somebody can walk through the door and know they can learn how to dance. Somebody in our community, if they need to have an event or want to do something, then the studio becomes a place on a different level, that whether instead of going to one of those other community places that's charging an arm or a leg and a foot, that hey, yeah, you can come and we're gonna sit there and we're gonna work with you. So now we're in the what I call the heart of Third Ward, the middle of the South Side, so people got access no matter what freeway, right off the freeway, and people gonna always look at what they think you're doing, and they might have really good ideas and perform. But at the end of the day, I've always said that there's two types of people in this world. You've got the fans and you've got the players. Now the fans can always tell you what you're doing wrong, what you should have been doing, how it should have been done, but they're the fans. But only the players are out there every day trying to get better at what they do. So we might do a lot of things wrong, but every day we're out here playing, trying to make it. You can't stop. Trying to learn how to become better at what you do.
Okay, like that. I needed that.
Really?
You usually have something quick coming on.
No, that's the hardest question you had. So my thought on that is that all you can do is do the best you can.
Yes.
And I think you're gonna always do the best you can until at some point, and I think you did that already, you get some point where you get burned out. So then at that point, then you have to make an individual. It's an individual decide, do you want to go on, or it's just like when you're on a job. You go so long, then you retire. So that's how it's gonna be for everybody.
Yes.
So for me, right now, I'm not burned out. I don't see me and Jared stopping this no time.
Y'all never look stressed.
Yeah.
Even though I know you probably don't like, but y'all do good about not showing it.
Right.
Especially you, Larry.
Yeah, well, my thing is that I like what I do. I like people. I like to dance. So I treat everybody the same, and that's just how I roll. So I know I know the people that know me. I don't think nobody really have nothing bad to say about me except that I'm the same every day. I let them dance with my partner till she drops. So it ain't it's all good with me. So I don't have no.
Let me ask this without putting you up. So entertainment is almost a male-dominated business. What I normally ask the women when I ask them is how do you deal with this dog man's world thing? What I call it, old boys. What was it called?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. What I'm trying to say. So to a female that's trying to do things, because I've done some things. I'm very proud of the things that I did. Sometimes I feel like I was erased from history. That's my own personal issue. But how would you? Sometimes when you have to be tough, like I have to be tough sometimes. I have to put my foot down. I have to say no. I have to say it's going to cost this, which is always an issue for me, is charging people. So from a male perspective, when a woman has to be tough and has to be strong, what advice would you give me to handle that? Because people are going to be mad because you have to put your foot down. And I'm sure both of you have had that, right? If you have to say, I don't know, y'all charging too much to have that event there.
All the time.
How do you handle that? And I'm trying to say it the right way because either y'all know how to handle it because you're kind of men. But to a woman, what advice could you give a woman on handling that Does that make sense? What I'm trying to ask?
Well, you can't. You have to do what you got to do. If this is your price, then how can you sell yourself short? You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. People gonna try you. People don't never wanna. Well, not just some way. You're gonna get those that you're not gonna have no problem with. You tell them your price, they say, yeah, it's worth it, and bam. Then you're gonna get those that's not gonna agree with you. You understand? But from the business side, it's okay for them to disagree. But from the business side, you got to stick to what you got to do because you know you got to pay the rent every month.
That's true.
And you got to pay the light bill every month. So you got to stick to it.
So I know y'all get people say, well, I'm not ever coming back.
Right.
Y'all get that, I'm sure, right? Or
right.
I'm not going to support y'all or whatever. How do you handle that?
At the end of the day, then you have to look at the service that you're giving, what your costs are. Everything you're talking about is really a business decision, a business package.
Yes.
It's not about that one person who might not ever be coming back. It's real simple at a certain point. If the product that you're putting out there is a product that somebody needs, they're gonna buy. It would be amazing at a certain point if for all the food places that are in business in Houston, Texas, there are a whole bunch of people who tell you, I will not eat over at such and such. But guess what? Such and such didn't go out of business.
You are so right.
Exactly. Because they didn't come in. They didn't close
You're absolutely
down.
right.
So it's on anything else. You just got to say, can I make money or live this way?
And you just got to move on from that.
Keep going on.
Let me tell you this short story. So at first, when Rick Jar made the decision, and then he convinced me that it was a good move. He said, man, I'm tired of getting kicked out of clubs. We need to get our own
right.
So then we went and found this spot on Clare Street, the studio, right? But it was the city came in and it had that one bathroom and they closed us down, right? Okay. Because the bathroom wouldn't accommodate the crowd.
Do y'all hear that? I don't know if y'all knew the real story.
Yeah, so bathroom wasn't.
They didn't get put out of business.
But it wasn't our building. But it wasn't our building. We leasing, so the guys wanted us to pay all that money to do the renovation. So then we looking, then we found this place right here. So we came, we saw it, and then you see the thing about the studio, when you come through this door, you're surprised at all this space that's down here at the back.
Absolutely.
So then we saw it, we said, yeah, we can make this work. This coward right here, said, man, you bet we can pay that? I said, man, we're gonna step out here on faith. We're gonna make it happen and see what happens. So then when when that little old thing that he was, his doubts, and so we've been here for 5 years. We made it work, and we're still making it work. You're going on 6. So I said that to say this. You just can't. It's just gonna be where you have to just step out on faith, make a decision. That's pretty much like with J.D.M. when they found. They didn't know that in the beginning how that was gonna turn out.
Right.
But he had a vision, they had a plan, and it's working. It's working, and it's gonna continue to work. And that's just how it go. I'm just using some examples.
That's a good example. That's a good example.
So.
Okay, well, I've learned so much today. Do y'all have any final words about? Can I ask you real quick about TSI? I said I was gonna remember it. Invincible.
Together strong.
Invincible. I remember. I tried to memorize last night. So how is that going? That TSI is a wonderful group of people. I tend to meet different ones. Of course, I know a lot of them, but how is that going? Those classes, y'all have classes on what days?
Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Is it all Houston two-step or is it different things?
No, line dancing on Tuesdays.
Okay.
And then they play cards and dominoes on Tuesdays. And Mondays and Wednesdays we have two-step classes.
Okay.
From 7 to 9.
7 to 9. Okay. So the nights that they do the dominoes, do people still dance? Or still music going on, or they just?
Well, it's the line dance.
Oh, that's right. You said that. Okay. Who teaches the line dance?
We have Miss Jean and T. Mike. They've been around for years with us. They teach line dancing at several other places. They're really good members, and then we have about 7 other instructors who teach from beginners to intermediate beginners to intermediate to advanced to our advanced classes. And the whole thing about TSI was as I said, expanding the dance community and realizing that somewhere in the dance community we've got to come together, which makes our community stronger with people having a common cause. And we've been able to do, we're a 501c3, we're a nonprofit. So as Larry was saying, looking for a spot or another location was being driven by TSI continuously getting bigger, and the amount of people that we've influenced over the past 13 something years. TSI is 13 years old, that we've started people learning how to dance, whether they moved on to some other dances, but they started here.
Yes.
And so that's the primary part.
That's the cool thing too. What I will say about one positive thing, people always remember their first teachers, where they started at, and I always think that's cool. Let me just make sure there was no questions before we start lining up. Watching, I want to go. Kenneth Holden said, "Good interview. What's the price on the ticket?" Which ticket, Kenneth? We got to be speaking of the black and white ball.
Yeah, black and white ball. This year, what we did different was we decided to, especially being the Whispers, we decided to have levels. So quite naturally, it started for the people who wanted to be closest to the stage, moving back to the back. So we have platinum, gold, silver, and then just the regular ticket. So platinum started at $100.
Okay.
Those tickets gone.
They're sold out.
Wow.
Gold is $90, which is still good tickets.
They almost sold out.
They're almost sold out. Now we're down to the silver, and then we'll be down to the regular.
Come on, get your tickets.
You're talking 70, 80, 90. The 100 is gone.
So what it boils down to, what you spend determines on where you want to sit and how good your seat going to be. Bottom line. But let me say this too: no matter what amount of money you spend, if you've been in the Bayou Event Center, it's not going to be a bad seat in the place. Because this is a fabulous event center,
and there's 2 dance floors.
And it's 2 dance floors, so you're gonna have a good time, I guarantee it.
And let me mention one other thing that people tend to forget. So I think you asked one question: why the TSI involved? Okay. One reason is we're a 501c3, so it's a nonprofit and allows the event to be a nonprofit affair.
Gotcha.
So whenever you buy a ticket, your ticket is tax deductible. So you can't go to any other concert or anywhere else you go to a show and you buy a ticket. When you done bought that ticket, you can throw it away. With the tickets we have, you save them, and guess what? It's only a few months before it's tax time.
Yes.
So you've got those tickets that you can write off.
Thank you. David Joyce says, "Great interview, and thank you so much, TSI, for a great evening." Constance Timms, keep those haters out of your ear. That's how you. She always has something good to say. So,
right.
That's my birthday person. We share the same birthday, me and Connie. Okay, well, this has been great. I thank y'all so much, and I must say that y'all, I never forget about y'all because y'all have always been there. I think I've come and vented to y'all before. One time y'all was at the other event, I came to vent before I said I gotta stop for a while. But thank y'all for always supporting me, because y'all have. When So You Want to Dance was here, y'all were one of my best customers. Y'all used to definitely employ me for So You Want to Dance. So I thank y'all, and I appreciate y'all so much. Right. Thank you so much, and let me do this today. Y'all make sure that y'all come to the Black and White Ball. I'm gonna get the information so I can make sure. I am working on my website to get my website back up. But this has been great. Y'all covered everything. I think you covered everything with the Black and White Ball.
Yeah.
Black and White Ball. Come to the Black and White Ball, y'all. Iris, Jerron, and Walter, Art of Chemistry. Good luck tonight on your event. I'm sorry I can't make it. Larry's gonna be there.
We'll see you tonight.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Missy Smith, happy 50th birthday party. After 50th birthday, you have your party tonight. As soon as I go see Maze, I'm gonna try to slide through there real quick. But I gotta go see Maze, y'all. But bye. Thank y'all for tuning in, and see y'all soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.